Hello everyone, this is Vanessa Wild, and I am a health and fitness coach, and also I am a mompreneur coach helping mompreneurs create a business and life that's surviving to thriving. So last week, typically I jump on once a week sharing thriving mompreneur tips, and last week I was in Punta Cana with my health and fitness business company. And I just enjoyed the moment. I just enjoyed the trip. So I unplugged a fair bit and just enjoyed it. So I didn't hop on. So this week I want to give you some good content to really create that thriving mompreneur business and life. This, what I'll talk about today, covers both areas, and that's all what I'm focused on. I want to see you as a mompreneur excel and thrive in both your business and in your life. So today we're going to talk about how to be more present, in both areas. Being present and being exactly in that moment is going to make it so that you actually create a more thriving business because you're so focused and you're in that moment, and a more thriving life. When I am not present, when I'm supposed to be with my sons, I find my boys are, they get into things more. They tend to not listen to me. So when I am present with them and focused on them, that is when they do their best. That is when I feel good about how things are running and functioning. So that's what I want to focus on today, how to be more present with it all. So I'm going to give you 4 tips today on how to be more present. I'm very much I like to have a list of what my focus is going to be. So there'll be 4 tips for you today. So the very first tip that I have for you about being more present is to create a schedule for yourself. I kind of have a template of what my schedule looks like each day, but really every single day I sit down in the morning and I make my schedule for the day, because some days are different. Some things that happen each day that I need to make sure I have a schedule ahead of time so that I know what I'm focused on. The thing about a schedule that is that's super beneficial is that when you know during certain times who or what you're supposed to be focused on. So you want to set time aside for all areas of life. So on your schedule, you're going to include when is your work time? When are you going to be present and focused just on your work time? I know as a mom sometimes, since we are mompreneurs, sometimes we're balancing the act of being a mom plus running the business, but figuring out time blocks where you can be more present with your business and really focused on it. And I'll talk about an idea for you in a later tip for you. Another aspect that you need to be putting in your schedule is time for yourself. So when are you going to do your workouts? When are you going to be showering? Yes, shower moms. When are you going to, maybe you decide like once a month you want to go get a pedicure or something. When will you schedule that in? So scheduling self-care time is super important in that schedule too. Another important aspect is to make sure you're scheduling when you are focused on your kids. So when will you be focused on playing and getting down on the ground with your kids, or going to the park with your kids, or going to a kids museum? When in your schedule that day are you just like, that is your focus? They are your focus. And then the other aspect is, when are you going to be focused on your spouse? I have had in the past where I say that it is my husband's time. I don't have it in my schedule, but I say it's my husband's time, and I'm sitting here on my phone. Am I really present with my husband? No, this is his time, so that's who I'm focused on. So having a schedule to know exactly when things are happening, who you're focused on, what you're focused on for that time. I know for me, when I don't have a schedule and I sit down in the morning and just schedule it out, I kind of go at the seat of my pants for the day, let's be honest. So I don't know exactly who or what I'm supposed to be focusing on at certain times. There are times also I put cleaning into my schedule. So my time during that is focused on the house. As a mom, I will be focusing somewhat on my kids when they need me, so I'll be doing that. But a lot of that time, when I say focus on cleaning, during that time block, I encourage the kids to play by themselves and to entertain themselves. So it's just that, encouraging them. There'll be times I stop to take care of them, but I know what my focus is and what I need to be doing during that time block. I like to do a time block because especially, and I give a little bit of leeway, if I know that the task is like 30 minutes, like really it only takes me 30 minutes to clean the kitchen, let's say. I usually give an hour, because I know as a mom it sometimes can take longer, let's face it, but I know when I do get distracted or when the kids do need me, I know what I will be getting back to, what my focus will be. So that's how I make sure I know who my focus will be, what my focus will be at certain times. As I sit down and just write out a schedule, I actually use a blank document, write out the times, and just go down and say exactly who and what I'm focusing on. My second tip, put the phone away. I know how hard that can be, moms. I know that, and the other part is turn off those notifications, those social media notifications. You don't need them on. I know, especially as a business owner, you're like, well, if I don't get that, like if I miss that message, they might go to someone else and talk to someone else. Okay, your life can't be all business. It easily can, but if you are so focused on that person messaging you, that person commenting on your stuff, and it's not that time, it's not that work time to be present in that, then you're going to be running it into other aspects of your day. So you're going to be getting a notification, and we're programmed as human beings, when we get that notification, we're programmed to respond. So you're going to get that notification, and when you're supposed to be present with your kids, you're going to be responding to someone or checking out your social media. So focusing on putting that phone away. You can put it on the counter. I know some people have like a special box or a special spot for their phone, and putting it somewhere where you're not going to grab it constantly. If you have it in your pocket or right beside you, it's so easy to it's habit. You just grab it and start looking at it, grab it and start looking at it. So put it away from you in some spot that is not easy to grab, like you actually have to walk over and grab it. And those notifications, you don't need to know when someone comments on your stuff or when someone messages you. I've turned off my notifications. The only notifications I do get are when I get a text. So that's important to me, especially because my husband's at work. I need to know everything's going okay. And then when someone calls me. Other than that, once in a while my emails, I don't have it constant, so once in a while my emails will ding, but I kind of block that out and I can turn that off even. But if someone messages me on Facebook Messenger, I don't know. I don't get the notification that you messaged me. So I totally make sure that I don't have the constant notifications of, hey, you need to grab your phone. Hey, you need to grab your phone, because that's where I'm going to want to be. And let's face it, our phone can be a huge distractor of what we need to be doing in the present moment. So if you need to be with your kids, with your spouse, if you need to be focused on your business, maybe you are like, okay, for me, my phone for business, I use it for some things, like right now with live, but I'm sitting at a computer right in front of me with the phone right here, and that's a lot of my business time. And when I do get on my phone for Facebook and stuff, it's more of just like a casual time once in a while. So putting that phone away is going to make a huge difference. Plus, you'll notice that you'll have more time in your day, surprisingly, because you're not using it scrolling Facebook or scrolling Instagram. So being really focused on and intentional on putting that phone away. Number 3 tip, ask for help. Okay, one of the things that I have done, and this is why I don't have kids around, is I have a babysitter 6 hours a week come and watch the kids while I am working, because I want to be present in my work. And I'll work at some other times in the day, maybe in the morning, or I sometimes will schedule work time and have the boys play by themselves, because it's good for them to learn that self-play. or for them to learn to play together. And that's like, I'll focus on them when they need me, but my focus ultimately is my business during that time. But I love to have that babysitter because I can be focused. So when I do live videos for y'all, I can pour into you and be with you. When I check in with my challengers, I can do that. When I do videos for my challengers, just whatever I need to be doing, get on the phone, I can be present in that moment. Because I have someone that's taking care of the boys that I trust, and it can help you be more present. Because when you're worried about, hey, like, especially when you go on live as a business owner, you're like, what if the kids get in the camera? Like, you're all nervous. What if this happens? You can't really be all focused. Then it's not going to be your best self when you're so worried about that. So if you're able to hire a babysitter, even like I just do 6 hours a week, it's so much easier for you to be focused and present in what you're doing for your work that day. And that's like, if there's other aspects that that you find helps as well, do that in certain areas. So maybe you hire a virtual assistant to help you. So instead of worrying about like other aspects of your business that someone else can do, you have a virtual assistant and pay for them to do it. So you can be more present getting on the phone with people and helping those people that you are focused on helping with your business. All right, tip number 4, and last tip, have a notepad or a note on your phone. Let's face it, when we go out there throughout the day, ideas are gonna pop in our head. We're gonna be like, oh, I should do this with my business, or I should post about this, or I should reach out and do this. And when I get an idea in my head, I want to sit down and do it right then. That's like my focus. Right then, I want to do it. But I've learned that if that's not my work time, I can't sit down to do it. And if I don't write it down, then I'll forget about it. So find somewhere, whether you have a notepad just in your pocket, you have your phone, or have it somewhere on like a table or something, you have your phone that you go to, whatever it is, but have a note pad that you use just for your brainstorming, just for ideas that pop into your head, and write it down. And then you can go back to it later when it's work time and be like, okay, what can I do to expand upon that? What can I do? When can I do that idea? Because ideas pop in our head. It may even cause, for some people, you to not sleep at night because ideas come into your head. So if you have it beside your bed, you can turn to that notepad and write the ideas down. So you'll have be able to brain dump and put it out there and just let it go, and then you can move on and be back and present with your kids, or present with your spouse, because we can constantly have that business brain going. When you're a business and entrepreneur, we're constantly thinking about, well, what can we do next? What can we do with our business? What can we do to help our clients? We're constantly thinking about that. So if you just put it out on paper, put it out in your notepad, on your phone, whatever it is, then you can move on and be present again, not thinking about it because you blurted it out onto whatever you're using. Then you can be back and focused on who you're supposed to be focused on at that moment. Instead of getting distracted and going, oh, let's go to, one of my favorite apps is Canva, or like it's on the website, on a website, canva.com. I'm like, oh, I need to go create that on Canva, and I'll sit down and create it and be like, oh, snap. This is supposed to be time with my boys. So write it down on something so that you can go to it later, and then when you do sit down for work, you can look at what you've written and you can see what stuff you need to do now, or what things you need to schedule in for a later time. So hopefully those tips help you become more present and be able to focus more on your business in the moment when it is your business time, and be focused more on your family when it is your family time. Like I was saying, I noticed that when I was so focused on my business instead of my family, that my kids had a really tough time, and they would get into things more because they wanted mama's attention. So when I actually said, okay, it's kids time, let's do something, let's do puzzles, let's go to the park, let's do fun stuff, and be present with them, their behavior was so much better. So it's more with my toddler, and he was so much better because he was like, mommy's paying attention to me, mommy is present with me, he's with me. And it's going to better help your relationship with your spouse too. Working on your business is fabulous. Go all in when it is your business time, but then when it's time to stop, be like, hey, okay, I'm with my spouse, because our relationship is so important that we keep building on it. So hopefully these tips help. If you ever have any questions, let me know. Also, I will be posting in just below in the description a link to my Thriving Mompreneurs community. So if you are a mompreneur and you would like to be surrounded with other mompreneurs that are creating that thriving business and life and working towards that, join us and click join from that link that I post. Have an amazing, amazing day, and we will see you next week. Bye.